Yes, we are here. We are here. We are here. We are here to be of service once again, to be able to help assist you with your questioning that you have for us today. But we must say that we've been prompting you to ask us this question. So, this is why you have noticed many times you have been saying this yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. And so it is easier to say it than actually do it. And we understand that, but we give many people prompts to be able to think and feel about themselves at a greater aspect of self. And while many of you are living past lifetimes in dream state to overcome those traumas, to be able to awaken to the feeling of certain traumas that occurred in other lifetimes that you have lived, to be able to rationalize it, comfort yourself, and rise upon it and overcome it yourself in this capacity. It is easier to do your inner work and to remove trauma from yourself if it is presented to you in a dream. Just a dream, you will say. Just a very, very real, vivid, and incredibly emotive dream. And so while you have the comfort of your lifetime you're living now, you can feel what you've experienced, but with the separation. And so it can't possibly be you this lifetime, you would know. And so we know how to support you and help you in the very best ways possible. So we give you these glimpses of dreams from other lifetimes to feel and remind consciously of what you've gone through. Your souls are unbreakable, but your experiences here are still imprinted onto your life contract to overcome, because this is how you walk through and release yourself from density that no longer serves you. It's all significant and purposeful, and you know this. And so we're lovingly giving you these experiences once again to overcome, to empower thyself with. And so we are saying, regardless of whether you try to know thyself or not, it is our job, our duty, our responsibility to help serve you in the very best way possible. And while some of you are not wanting to feel into density to empower yourselves through it, we will give you these loving reminders with a prompted dream to do your work, to know thyself. And even if you refuse to think or consider for a minute that those dreams were you in other lifetimes and potentially even parallel lifetimes, that is okay. We understand. It is important to focus on this lifetime now and not get hung up on certain things. We understand if you start thinking too much about other lifetimes, it can distract you. And you could try to find problems and issues with your limited perspective of why certain events occurred. And we can say to you, you can connect in with us and we will help assist you and show you the lessons of those experiences we also supported you with to have in those other lifetimes. But as we know, sometimes the most heartbreaking and physically painful experiences are still very valid lessons to have and to grow from and to remember where you've come from. And so to know thyself in the most broadest sense ever is to recall and reflect that you're all part of Source. And what is Source, you ask? What is Source? And we say that Source is an energy that became self-aware and wanted to have different experiences as it was what you could consider a thought. What am I? I'm so comfortable being everything and nothing. What am I? What else can I explore? What else can I experience? What is there? These are the thoughts that started to become aware. And there is a need to separate from self, from source, to have more independent clarity and questioning and experiences and observations and different perspective of not being whole, but being a fraction of source. So this consciousness, this energy became curious. It was so happy and comfortable being self. It wanted to expand and explore other aspects, other awarenesses, other factors. It is all completely possible to experience. And as you are understanding at your best capability in a third dimensional body, you are all multidimensional beings while you are still connected to source that is distant from you at this point as you're focusing on being so dense in this 3D planet, while also having different independent experiences, believing you are just one human being. And you say you are, and you know you is one being. You see yourself as an individual and independent, and that is fantastic because it gives you focus on what you're doing independently as you are needing to. But how do you get from being fully source to breaking away into smaller fragments of self to then find yourself here in a 3D body? It doesn't just happen as a whim. There is much to be explored, and you often will find that you have broken away from source as a bigger counterpart, which we call your higher self in these sessions for you to understand. But we know that your higher full self, your true full self, is source. But we know you love labels and names. And so we will say, you fracture out from source to be your higher self. And your higher self is able to do things that source cannot be and not do. It is different for many reasons, but it also is still the same. It is more independent. It is wanting to observe more, explore more, experience more. And then that higher self fractures out to have other lower dimensional experiences. And so each time you fracture yourself out, you're wanting to go deeper and deeper and deeper into density, because that is curious for you too. You're wanting to learn and observe and experience and grow from and explore and have personal independent experiences, which of course all come back and all learn from and grow from and share from. But as your higher self fractals out lower and lower and lower, you have to be more and more supported. When you come to these 3D planets, you must come with a collective support. You must come with guides who are supporting you constantly. And while you must think, gosh, it must be so dull for my subconscious to watch me do my dishes, we say the subconscious is with you for always and ever, because it is a higher version of self, but it's doing its own busy chores too. And you don't need to be aware of its equivalent of doing its dishes. And potentially your subconsciouses are not doing dishes. But for this analogy, you're all wanting to experience the illusions of your densities, of your dimensions. And so you're all having these, what you would perceive, perceptions of time to explore and do your routines and duties. And the higher you go in the dimensions, the less physical you are. So there is no such thing as dishes, but there is other things that they keep themselves busy with. And so they can easily maintain and guide and manage and inspire and support and love many parts of their 3D selves. And also they support their other soul families' 3D selves. They're there to support. And if you are a guide to a planet, you are very capable of supporting many, many, many different aspects of human lives, all simultaneously. And so they aren't just focused just on you, just doing the dishes and just going to the bathroom. They have no real interest in that. However, if you do suddenly call upon them, if you have a fright or a scare or something scary that happens to you when you start praying, you will get their attention quickly, because they can read and sense that there is something unbalanced, unaligned with your energetic body. So when you go into a panic, energetically, they know this. So imagine understanding it from this perspective. Your subconscious is your arm. And let's just say that your subconscious has 5 beings, 5 independent beings that it is supporting and loving and nurturing through their human experiences. And let's say, for this example, your subconscious, the arm, is managing and focusing on the 5 fingers. And while we know that there is 4 fingers and a thumb, you understand what we're referring to. So look at an arm, and it has got 5 small fractions of self down that arm. And so you know the arm will notice if suddenly one of those fingers is being attacked. You don't have to see it, you can feel that one of the fingers is being nibbled on. For example, if we want to say something is nibbling on a finger, or something is touching that finger that is affecting that finger in a panic state, you can feel all 5 fingers. If you wriggle them now, they are all independent. They're all living their own versions of life. They all have different perspectives of where they are in the hand. So while they're all simultaneously experiencing the same lifetimes as being independent fingers, they're still connected to the arm, and the arm is still connected to the 5 fingers. And now when you feel the whole hand, you can notice that the fingers are all very aware, very in tune, very in sync with the rest of the hand. It's a complete package. And so there is so much to be said. And if we went further and said that you could break it down even more so to all the independent bones in the hands, which there is multitudes of, you get to see and know that there is so much inner workings that are going on behind the scenes that you can't even tell. Also, then you can add the tendons and the muscles and the cells, everything that is supporting and encouraging the working capacities of those fingers. It's not just 5 fingers. There is so much support that goes on behind the scenes, within the scenes. This is a very good example of what is truly happening for you as an independent body. Well, you know, you have so many bones and muscles and tendons and organs that are helping you. Think about them as also being high dimensional beings all within you. You can't see them all the time. You can kind of feel them if you poke around the bones. You can tense and feel the muscles. And we'll say, you know thyself, which, while your vehicle is a vehicle which is merely holding your soul, you are not the body. You're attached to the body at this 3D experience, but you're more connected in with us than truly your body. This is strange for you to hear. How can you trust this when you don't see us? Well, you can't see us and you can't feel us as if you did. cut into your anatomy to see the functioning bones, tendons, muscles, blood, and all of the things that factor into your vehicle. But you trust that all your bones are there. You've never stopped and counted them. You've never tried to explore the full range of where your muscles go. You just assume that your body is functioning and normal and fine. And so if you're wanting to advance yourself in your spiritual worlds and understanding the metaphysics more and who you truly are, we could say that there are so many aspects of us as high dimensional beings within you. Everything is within you. When you close your eyes and detach and relax yourself from the physical body, you are there, just there, just there, just there, just there. You are returning back to what it feels like to be source. And when you open yourself up to just being conscious of your mind, just be in your mind, not be in your body, not be in your fears and worries, not doing the shopping list in your head. But when you actually just remember that sense of awareness, that consciousness that's within you, but it's not even in the body, but you perceive it is in the body. But this is how we are saying we are also there within you, within your body, within your mind's eye. You could close your eyes and fully relax yourself, not holding any tension to the body. In fact, you could just relax. In fact, you could just forget you have the body and just close your eyes and remove all senses of the body and focus within that stillness, that consciousness that's there. What is going on there for your consciousness? Who are you going to invite in? Are you going to trust that your subconscious is right there too? That your higher dimensional beings, essences are right there too, because you are at the finger of the arm, of the shoulder, of the torso, of the body, and aspects of high dimensional selves. And we could say the numbers of the dimensions, and we could say and introduce you to each individual aspect of self with all the names and all the labels and all of the intricacies of each independent lifetime. And that is all well and said and somewhat interesting, but it is distracting you from who you are now. So while you're all connected to one, while you're all fingers in this 3D life experience, while you're all these 3D vessels, when you connect into your consciousness, you actually do not see separation of self. You feel and sense all. This is significant. And this is purposeful. And so when you want to fully connect in, you detach yourself from noticing the body and you trust the mind's eye. You trust what's in the mind. But it's not your physical brain you are even connecting into. It is your thoughts. You think it's within the body. And you can't decide, where is it? Is it in the middle of my brain? Is it behind my eyes? Is it in front of my forehead? Where is this thought coming from? Where is my consciousness living? Where is it placed? You're wanting to find where your consciousness resides. We can say, because you think you're the body, you're trying to locate it within the body. Your soul essence is technically within the body, but your mind's eye, your consciousness can take up the space of an entire, what you would consider universe, galaxy. There is no time and space. And so you're trying to use your clever mind to understand the capacity of your soul essence, to understand the reaches and the limits and the bounds of your consciousnesses. But it's infinite. The only way we can explain it to you is understanding numbers. The number sequences are infinite, and that's the space that you can also have. Your consciousness is limitless a space. You can have great awareness of consciousness. It is exceptional. And when you realize that you can have advanced consciousness, you realize it's not significant to have vast amounts of consciousness, because you're all or nothing. And you're in a completely neutral and balanced space. And that is where you are, back again, being with Source. And so you distract yourself so much. You overthink, you over-worry, you over-criticize. And you dismiss the very simple essence and the simple experiences of just going within, closing your eyes, detaching yourself from the physical body by not paying attention to it and focusing on the consciousness, focusing on where your thoughts are and being at balance and neutral with the thoughts. It is so easy from our perspective to be able to go within, to trust and just balance and neutral. And it's balancing the mind and balancing the body, and it's a profound unity of self. And this is what you could have been doing and what you can achieve when we gave you that white light meditation, to be able to find and see and feel yourself being in a beautiful pyramid of white light. We gave you the visual to make you feel that you are protected. The pyramid is a very strong shape, and it is very impenetrable. It's very strong in its foundations, and it's very strong at its peak and point. It's all purposeful while we use the symbol for you to give you the encouragement of strength. We are unsure if we've been able to successfully explain to you, know thyself, but we have given you the best of our capabilities in this translation to be able to tell you and guide you how to achieve getting to self. And to remembering that your soul essence is there within you, including all of your other connections. And while you're not consciously aware of all of the independent experiences, the other lifetimes that you are having as multidimensional beings, it is purposeful. You need to focus on where you are and who you are now. We say this with love.